The first time I saw that little boy, my heart stopped. His laughter echoed through the park, the same soft laugh I used to dream about when I cried myself to sleep after the accident. For a moment, I thought my mind was playing tricks on me, but when he turned around, I saw my husband's eyes staring back at me. My breath caught in my throat, my knees went weak, and the world seemed to blur. I wanted to run, but my feet were frozen to the ground. And then, from behind the roses, I saw her, my mother, holding his hand, smiling as if nothing was wrong. That's when I realized the child she was raising wasn't hers. He was mine. I remember the sound of screeching tires, the shattering glass, and then silence. I woke up days later in a sterile hospital room, my body weak and my soul heavier than ever. The nurse held my hand gently and whispered that my baby hadn't survived the crash. In that moment, I felt like my heart had been ripped from my chest. My mother stood by the bed, tears streaming down her face, comforting me as I screamed in pain. I believed her sorrow because I was too broken to question it. Days turned into weeks, and I found myself living like a shadow. The nursery we had prepared became a tomb of memories. My husband tried to be strong, but grief consumed us both. My mother insisted I move in with her for a while, saying she couldn't bear to see me alone. I agreed, not realizing then that she had other motives behind her compassion. I thought she was my rock, the only person who could hold me together. Every night I dreamed of my baby's face, even though I had seen him only once, right after birth. His tiny fingers, his soft cry, they haunted me. My mother would hold me and say, "Let it go, my child. God has taken him to a better place." I believed her words, though part of me still felt something was off. Mothers know when something isn't right, but grief can silence even the strongest instincts. I tried to move on. I went back to work, surrounded myself with people, and even forced a smile now and then. My mother seemed happier than before, oddly lighter, as if she had found new purpose. She spent more time away from home, claiming she was helping a friend with childcare. I never suspected a thing. I was too lost in my sorrow to notice that her secret life had just begun. One evening, as we sat on the porch, she looked at me with such deep pity and said, "You'll be a mother again someday." I nodded, unaware that she was raising the very child she claimed I lost. That thought never crossed my mind, not until years later, when fate decided to reopen my wounds. 5 years later, I had finally rebuilt a fragile version of my life. I had moved to another city, started therapy, and even begun dating again. My mother and I stayed in touch, but I sensed distance between us. She always changed the subject when I asked about her new life. Then, one day, I returned to my hometown for a friend's wedding, and that's when I saw him, a little boy with my late husband's eyes. He was playing near the garden, laughing, his curls bouncing in the sunlight. I froze. There was something familiar in his smile, the way his nose wrinkled when he laughed. My heart pounded as I approached, drawn by something I couldn't explain. His laughter stopped when he saw me. He tilted his head and asked, "Are you my mommy?" Those words shattered the ground beneath me. Before I could respond, a familiar voice called out his name. My mother appeared from behind the hedge, holding a basket of flowers. My knees went weak as I realized the impossible truth. She was raising him, my baby, my child, the one she told me had died. The color drained from my face as she froze, her expression turning from surprise to panic. "Mom, what is this?" I managed to whisper, my voice trembling. She tried to speak, but no words came. I could see the fear in her eyes, the guilt she could no longer hide. She grabbed the boy and pulled him close, saying, "You don't understand." I had to do it. My body went numb. The world spun around me as years of buried pain erupted inside. I walked away, my heart racing, my breath shallow. My mind screamed that this couldn't be real, but every instinct told me it was. I had to know the truth, all of it, and I was prepared to destroy every lie she'd ever told to uncover it. I confronted her the next day. She sat at the kitchen table, her hands trembling as she clutched a cup of tea. I demanded answers, my voice shaking with anger and heartbreak. You told me my baby died, Mom. You buried me in grief for years. Why? She broke down, sobbing uncontrollably, saying she couldn't bear to see me unfit, unstable, lost after the accident. She said she thought she was saving the child and me by taking him as her own. You were broken, she said. You couldn't even get out of bed. I feared for his safety. I couldn't let you ruin his life with your sadness. Her words cut deeper than any blade. She had stolen my motherhood, my chance to heal, my right to hold my baby, all under the mask of love. I wanted to hate her, but part of me saw the twisted desperation in her eyes. She had done an unforgivable thing, yet she truly believed it was right. I went to the authorities, but the years of deception made it complicated. Birth certificates, false records, even her friends had believed the child was hers. She had built a perfect lie. The law moved slowly, but I refused to give up. My son deserved to know the truth, even if it destroyed both of us. Weeks turned into months. My mother pleaded for forgiveness, saying she did it out of love. But love doesn't imprison. Love doesn't steal. Love doesn't lie. Each day, I visited my son in secret, slowly revealing pieces of truth his young mind could handle. It broke me every time he called her Mom. The day he called me Mommy for the first time, tears streamed down my face uncontrollably. It was the most painful yet beautiful moment of my life, because finally, after all the lies, my son saw me, truly saw me. My mother never recovered from the scandal. Neighbors turned away, family disowned her, and guilt consumed what was left of her spirit. I should have felt relief, but instead I felt a deep emptiness. The bond between us was forever severed, and forgiveness seemed impossible. I still visited her sometimes, not as a daughter, but as a reminder of the line she crossed. My son struggled to understand. He loved both of us, the mother who raised him and the mother who gave him life. I told him he didn't have to choose, but deep down, I knew he would always feel torn. That was the price of secrets. They never truly die. They just change the shape of pain. Years have passed since then, but the scars remain. I found peace in telling my story, hoping it might save someone from the darkness of deceit. My mother passed away last year. Her final words to me were, "I did it because I couldn't bear to lose you both." I cried, not for what she did, but for the love that turned into madness. Now, when I look at my son, I see both the tragedy and the miracle of our story. He is strong, kind, and forgiving, everything I once wasn't. He tells me he understands now that love can be both healing and destructive, and sometimes it takes years to know the difference. I still wonder what life would have been if I had known the truth sooner. But I've learned that healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means surviving the storm and choosing to love again, even when love once betrayed you. This story isn't just about loss. It's about how far love can twist when it's mixed with fear. My mother thought she was saving me, but in her desperation, she destroyed the bond between us. It taught me that love without honesty becomes control, and care without truth becomes cruelty. To every mother, every daughter, every parent out there, never let fear make your choices. The truth may hurt, but lies will haunt you forever. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It's freeing yourself from the pain of the past. Ribe. Because sometimes the stories we tell can save someone from repeating our mistakes.